Channel switched.
And I'll turn my microphone on for the stream. Are you there, Lily?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we're all good to go then. Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have TnC versus Orange is our match for the night. Let me just get it resumed, so I'll just start a countdown for us. 3, 2, 1, go. We're actually casting from a replay tonight. This is for the Asia, which was played back in December. So we'll just have to make sure we keep in sync.
Yep.
And yes, hopefully these guys should be banning soon.
Yeah, it looks like Orange got the first ban. And we've seen from last night, I think they're going to play it very, very safe. Probably going to see very traditional bans and picks from Orange. I don't think we're going to see anything too unexpected, at least I don't think.
Reserve time.
Cutting into reserve time.
Yeah, either X is AFK or they really are thinking about this first ban. TnC is known for quite aggressive play. Ninja Boogie usually goes for quite a strong mid-game to early game carry, something like a Luna or, you know, sometimes they go Phantom Lancer. I think they've seen Naga a couple of times, so...
I've seen him on the Gyro as well a couple of times.
Yeah.
He played a very good Gyro a couple of games ago. Yeah, perhaps TnC might go for a little bit unorthodox picks. You could argue that they're the underdogs for this. Orange is a very, very well-known team.
Yeah. The Filipino teams just tend to switch around so much. It's hard for them to get any, you know, internationally recognised teams at the scale of Orange, which has been together for years, since Dota 1 really. But the two bands we've seen so far are quite traditional, the Batrider and the Magnus. I expect we're going to see something like a Darkseer, Nerobian Assassin, probably a Dirge, and... Oh, there's
5 seconds remaining.
quite good heroes that are popular in this metagame. Yeah, and then there's Nerobian Assassin band.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, we've got 3 games for Orange tonight. The first one, as you can tell, is Orange versus TnC, and then I think we have Orange versus...
Myth, isn't it? And then UFC.
Yeah, that's right. It's MUFC for the third match, that's right.
10 seconds remaining.
TnC are having to think about this. I think they're aware that Orange is going to go a very traditional and strong strategy, so they want to make sure they ban out a hero that Orange, you know, would obviously utilise well. The fact that they don't ban out the Dark immediately, who is known for being a very strong hero, shows that TnC obviously has some kind of plan in mind that possibly the Darkseer wouldn't have a huge effect on. As I said, they ban out the Quap. Orange is well known for utilising the Quap very effectively, so very smart ban to say. But as I was saying, TnC usually goes to that early game, mid game, pushing, you know, early game dominance with ganks and all of that. So the Darkseer is an effective hero, but usually he gets shut down for the first couple of minutes, you know, maybe until 15 minutes or so before he actually catches up in levels, by which point TnC usually hope to snowball. Whereas the Queen of Pain has that really good early game dominance with her nukes, so...
Yeah, we might see a Darkseer a little bit later on in a tier 2 ban phase or the second pick phase.
He's definitely a strong hero, but I think TnC usually try and get the dominance before Darkseer really comes into play.
Yeah. Templar Assassin.
Templar Assassin. You have anything to say about that?
Not really. I think that's, I guess, a little bit too expected. The very strong Queen of Pain was banned out, so Orange just reply, well, that's fine, we'll just take the Templar Assassin. I assume that was the thought train that was going on anyway. They have secured themselves a very strong mid-hero.
And TnC replies by picking up that Undying. He's a hero that he kind of phases in and out of the metagame. He's a very strong hero when played well, but he also can get shut down. And they also pick up the Undying,
Oranges
sorry,
turn to
Undying, the
pick.
Undying and the THD, which could be the makings of a very strong aggressive tri-lane.
Luna.
I might see TnC take a carry that's capable of soloing.
Dire team pick.
This is very, very standard orange play. Still
Yeah.
not too much has been revealed. I mean, I guess the Templar Assassin's almost certainly in the mid. They might have to tri-lane with the Luna, just defensive against the Undying and Jakiro. As you said, that's a very strong tri-lane. But at the same time, if Orange were to, say, ban out a couple of really strong tri-lane heroes, Undying actually gets in a really awkward position where his laning, it actually lets the team down. He just doesn't lane hugely well.
Yeah.
He's not a great off-laner. Technically, you know, some people were on that as the off-lane, but he doesn't work out amazingly, and if he doesn't get the right tri-lane, he feels relatively useless. And, I mean, maybe with some careful drafting, Orange might make that the case.
Oranges turn to ban.
And it looks like TnC might actually be just... Oh, they might actually do the Darkseer mid. We have seen that before, as the Iron Shell versus the Templar Assassin does a really decent job of shutting her down. Plus he's got that surge, which means he can re-control effectively. Bionic Trap, the slow doesn't go through the surge, so... You know, once it hits level 6, the Darkseer can just zoom straight up to that rune and stop her from getting it. We might be seeing the Darkseer mid.
We'll have to see.
Ban-wise?
Oranges
Yeah.
turn to ban.
Here's what I was going to say.
Nah, nothing too much, but just as I say that, a whole bunch more bans come through from Orange as well. So Enigma just started off for TnC, and they just banned out of Chen as well. This is 2 jungle heroes being banned out. I guess maybe they want to put a Darkseer in the jungle and secure sort of having the most XP and sort of try snowball that way. Maybe we'll see if they ban out another jungler.
Well,
Orange.
if they do decide to go the aggressive tri-lane route, a jungler coming in from behind can be very effective at, you know, making the aggressive tri-lane lose. There's a thought.
Yeah, either way, they definitely have a plan with that. And that's 2 very strong pushing junglers as well.
Yeah.
Dire team ban.
And the Lone Druid and the Naga from Orange, that offers quite good push in their own right. They're 2 very strong, sort of hard to deal with carries. Of course, the Naga Siren, really hard to kill. Lone Druid, very hard to kill as well. He can just be split pushing and stuff. Perhaps a little bit easier to kill than a Naga if the Naga's willing to just pop her song defensively, which we saw yesterday time and time again.
Yeah.
And then a Night Stalker ban as well. Perhaps they don't want TnC. I mean, a Night Stalker could be in a tri-lane. I have seen that run a couple of times in the Asian scene. And it is very strong and might allow him to get some really early kills and snowball it. And they don't want that to happen.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, the one good thing, not the one, but one of the really good things about TnC's draft at the moment is it's very ambiguous. The Darkseer could be in the jungle, he could be on the hard lane, he could be in the mid, Undying could be as a support or as a carry like carrying the tri-lane, or he could go, you know, an aggressive tri-lane. Like, they haven't revealed much of their hand, and that's making the bans very hard for Orange, as they don't quite know where TnC is going with this yet. They can tell that they're going to some kind of, you know, huge AoE, as their 3 heroes are very AoE dependent, as well as great pushing
5
ability,
seconds
but
remaining.
how they're going to lane it and what exactly that's going to mean really hasn't been revealed by TnC yet.
Reserve time.
Yeah, that's true there. I didn't even think about that AoE. And with the Naga ban, that's a very smart ban. Obviously, you don't want to get sleeved while you're a little bit out of position. The Darkseer can just vacuum everybody in. And then obviously the Jakiro Ice Path into Macropire, even though it's just a support hero, he can still dish out so much damage given that scenario. Let alone perhaps a Sven or something like that, a PL who could really utilize that as well.
Yeah.
Stands ready.
Dire team pick.
Speaking of Sven, Orange does actually pick up the Sven, and it looks like he might be run as a support, as they do already have the Luna and the TA carry. So we might see some roaming Sven Rubik combo. We've seen TnC run the roaming Sven a couple of times already this the Asia. And they did it very, very effectively, so it might also be kind of a respect pick in a way, in that they're taking the Sven away from TnC and taking their own very strong strength support carry kind of thing. It's very utilized. I mean,
Yes, very, very strong.
what's that English? Can't remember that English word. And TnC actually picks up the Venomancer. That's quite interesting.
Yeah,
he
very
hasn't been.
unorthodox. I haven't seen him
Yeah.
play at all, and I'm assuming that's what you're just about to say.
Yeah, exactly.
I think in
But
terms
I
of a
mean-
tri-lane, like in terms of disables and stuff to set up kills and whatnot, I feel like there's better heroes. But they must have something in mind, otherwise they wouldn't have picked it up. So I'm very interested to see how they play this.
Well, it might be that they're just going to go for like massive, slow AoE teamfight dominance, as they've got 3 heroes that slow and 1 hero that speeds you up. So, I mean, maybe they're just hoping that, you know, they don't need stuns because Luna's not going to be able to go anywhere when she's got Dirge's ulti slowing her down, as well as the Tombstone and Jakiro's dual breath slow, and then Venomance's Venomous Gale as well. So,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can really run away from that combo if they get hit with it.
Only 3 seconds left on the pickup. And they get a Windrunner, so that secures themselves, I assume, to be an off lane, which means a defensive tri-lane, which I think is probably the right choice. An aggressive Undying will shut down whoever's in the easy lane if you leave them to solo.
Oh, and another thing with TnC's draft, which we haven't mentioned yet, but all of their heroes have a damage over time, which is really going to mess with that Templar Assassin, as the refraction ticks will get taken down by, I think, all of them. The Tomb can basically be counted as a damage over time, as, you know, they hit him once every second or so. Jakiro's got 3 damage over time, Iron Shell and Dark Seer. I don't know, all of them damage over time. So they're really going to shut this Templar Assassin down, I can assume.
Well, at least that's what they are hoping for. We'll see, we might see perhaps a Rubik or a Sven. I would assume the Rubik in that case, just to rotate and maybe help him out.
So in terms of lanes, looking at the players, it looks like the Dragon Knight's going to be mid, Darkseer's going to be bot lane, and we're going to see a tri-lane. They might do an aggressive tri-lane, but Ninja Boogie typically just goes for a farming hero and farms for a long time. So the fact that he's playing Dirge I find very interesting.
Yeah, he has been played as a sort of semi-carry role, and if he's getting the farm in a tri-lane, he definitely can get up some core items and, you know, really punish the enemy team, as a semi-carry should.
So to run through the players, I'll just go through Orange quickly. We've got X on the Rubik, Ice is playing the Sven, Windrunner is playing by WW, Yamata is playing the Luna of course, and Templar Assassin is being played by KYXY.
On the Undying for the night, as we were just talking about, is Ninja Boogie, Jesse Vash on the Darkseer, Chen on the Venomancer, Ryo on the Dragon Knight, and Fox on the Jakiro. And we might see a level 1 engage here. It looks like both teams, all 5, are heading down the bottom. So we might see an engagement in the Radiant jungle. I might put an advantage to the Dire at this point. TnC have very strong level 1 abilities. Darkseer perhaps not so much. What is he gonna put an Iron Shell and stand next to people? It's not so much the case. But everyone else has very strong abilities. Gale, one of the best level 1 abilities in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely incredibly damaging, as well as that great 50% slow. But I think this Dragon Knight pick, we didn't talk about that at all, but I think it really rounds off their team as it gives them another tank. So they've got 3 incredibly good heroes with the Dirge, the Darkseer, and the Dragon Knight, and they also have the THD and the Veno, who aren't known for being particularly squishy supports. We might see initiation here. Who's that kind of flitting around? But I think that it's going to be very difficult for the Radiant to take on any of the Dire heroes, as they all are quite squish. I think they're really going to have great longevity in team fights. It's going to be very hard to kill them.
The battle begins.
A very awkward standoff here at level 1. TnC did sort of get very close to catching them out of position, but it looks like Orange were in the know. They did put a ward down. I mean, it just got dewarded, but that would have given them enough vision to just play it safe and not get picked off. Which, if that was TnC's plan all along, go for these really strong level 1 heroes and try to get an advantage that way, that's now backfired them and would technically put them on the back foot if they've drafted for that.
It looks like they're going to be able to get it mid, actually. The Venomancer does initiate with Gale.
Yeah.
Follow up. Ice Pod. Fiber has actually taken Dragon Knight instead of stun, but they didn't even need the stun anyway. They took her down very fast. The DD on the Jakiro helped a lot.
Very, very strong. Templar Assassin immediately teleports back to lane. Doesn't want to miss out on her XP or gold, and I think that's definitely the right decision. Rubik actually just got a kill on the Undying, so where was that?
That was just down on bot lane. I'm assuming he got a little bit too aggressive, as they do have a very strong tri lane with the Sven, the Rubik and the Luna.
Yeah, I guess they realized, well, the Venomenter and the Jakiro was still rotating bottom, so we could just go on him.
Yeah.
Bit of overcommitting by the Undying, I would say. Well, I didn't see it.
Top tower is under attack.
Some nice aggressive de-warding by Fox there. Just trying to make sure they have a vision up, and if they get in position, they will be able to take this ward down. On it. Looks like they're going to drop another sentry down the bot lane just to get rid of that extra ward. Initiation goes on to Boogie, but no follow-up at the moment. I think the Sven doesn't quite have enough for stun, or yeah, he's still 10 mana from stun, so possibly Rubik was just trying to do a little bit of scaring.
That is a huge problem with Sven, Sven's early mana problem.
Yeah.
Same with Venomenter though, so same could be said. Both teams have one of their sort of initiation tools, the Sven stun and the Gale. Both very mana intensive, and the heroes don't have a ton themselves.
We actually see a kill on by the Darkseer. Not that much the Windrunner do against that Iron Shell. And the early point in vacuum being a lot in that, you know, whenever the Windrunner tries to Windrun away, he just gets vacuumed straight back in.
Ah, the Windrunner hadn't actually skilled Windrun, I see. Thinking she's up against a solo Darkseer, could play it a little bit more aggressive, get more points in Shackle Shot early on, help her with her farm.
Then backfired.
Yeah. Of course Iron Shell is magical, so that's going to go through the Windrun, but the extra move speed and stuff would most likely get her out of the way.
But he has got that surge, so the Darkseer does have a decent time against the Windrunner. And he's got his Soul Ring up now, so I think we can expect to see a lot more harass and spam by him.
Yeah, she's skilled Windrun now, she's going to play a little bit more safe. She's still out farming. She's 16 for 4 and the Darkseer is 11 for 2, so she is doing very well for herself. I guess that somewhat aggressive build is paying off, albeit her death. The decay spam coming out on bottom lane could get quite frustrating and maybe zone out this Yamato from farming. Hasn't quite happened like that, it's only level 1 decay. So the cooldown is still quite large, but it's relentless nonetheless. Dragon Knight having a lot more trouble in mid lane. They were even before, both at about 7 for 1, but now the Dragon Knight only 12 for 1, with the Templar Assassin really showing why she's such a strong mid hero. Being able to harass just with the side blades and then have a really nice last hit capability. So she's now 22 for 7. Just about doubling this. A haste rune on the DK, getting a little bit more aggressive, but I don't think he can really afford to try and make a kill from this. He is bottle crowing, as well as the TA. The TA's been bottle crowing this whole time. DK is going on, I guess, just a harassment stun. May as well use his mana up while he's bottle crowing.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think these lanes aren't working out exactly as I wanted, but I expect we're going to see a lot more action on bot very soon.
Your praises.
The Dirge tri-lane usually needs like a couple of levels before they can start playing it like really aggressive, as well as his mana boots are going to help a lot. But I suspect once they're up, we're going to see so much, like right now, initiation goes on Yamata, just a little bit of harass, just to force her back.
Yeah, it's just a shame that the lane was so close to the tower. You know, she was slowed huge amounts then. She was basically as good as stunned. But since she was just so close to the tower, she only needed to move back a couple of steps and she was completely fine. And with the stun just lurking in the jungle, being hidden and playing rather defensive for his team, he will stop a lot of kills, assuming he's in the right position.
Well, it
This
definitely is
Undying though,
harassing
once he
him a
hits about level 5, he will have such a huge nuke potential. Just level 1 in the Soul Rip and maybe another point in the Tombstone or something will give him such a huge damage potential. Anyway, go on.
Oh, I don't remember what I was going to say, but it's something similar to that. Anyway, in mid lane, we do actually see the Dragon Knight manage to get the Templar down quite low before he moves to that route, so he might be able to get a kill, especially if this Venomancer rotates to the mid lane. Birch has got his mana boots if he chooses to buy them, which he does. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of spamming on this bot lane.
It really is a bit of a shame. Like, I think Dragon Knight really wants some rotations from the Jakiro and the Venomancer, just like they did and got an early kill on the Templar Assassin, but they just can't afford to leave the lane. As I say this Darkseer is sort of positioning himself like he wants to go in, maybe put a surge on this Dragon Knight once he's in Dragon form. Vacuum back, is this going to be enough to get the kill? I'm not so sure. TA does slow and she is walking out. One right click gets done, not quite enough damage over time to get the kill. She's on 1 HP. Very close to dying.
Bot lane is initiated as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But the Dirge does manage to cap. Look, that Sven's done, played up with the Rubik telekinesis, but he's a very tank hero. He hasn't got any real strength items, he's just got the 2 GG branches and he's on 900 health just from all that decay spam.
I'd really like to see this Undying pick up just 1 point in the Soul Rip. It's got so much utility and it's such a low mana cost just to level 1, so it's pretty much free to cast and it does so much for you. Even defensively you can just use it to heal.
But while this Darkseer has been running around mid making sure they get the tower, this Wonder Woman has basically farmed up the mech. She just needs the recipe, which is 600 gold away.
Yeah,
so
she's actually farming the most in the map at the moment. 48 for 13, doing very, very well for herself. Obviously the range advantage over the Darkseer, the Ion Shell's just that little bit less reliable, and someone, I guess, Orange, amazing players, and you would expect this last hit ability from the Windrunner to be able to deny the Ion Shell farm, securing most for herself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Illusion.
Venomancer is just keeping his aggressive wards up. He just planted another one behind the tower. They've also got that one, just making sure the TA can't come bot and get a gank. Meanwhile, top lane, we might see Asian by the Darkseer. He's come in around from behind. He's definitely going to try and do some harass at least on WW.
Yeah, forces the
Windrunner.
Windrunner. Otherwise, the surge into vacuum, he would have been able to endlessly keep up with that Windrunner.
Initiation on bot as well. Tombstone is dropped.
There is level 2 on these wards, so maybe with the Tombstone and the wards, they're going to want to be pushing this. I'm not so sure though, there's a fair bit of counter push. The Dragon Knight's actually rotated down bottom as well, and they found this Sven in his little hiding position. Will they be able to pick him off? Yeah, they do. Very nice burst damage from this team, and they can bring even a Sven down. And they will convert this into a tier 1 push. The Luna and Rubik are forced to get right back. The mana boot's giving so much sustain for these guys and able to just continue pushing and going for those hero kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Poor Yamate unable to farm now. He does have his Tranquil Boots giving him sustain in the lane. Unfortunately, that's not enough to let him get in and farm against 4 really strong early game heroes.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That was a nice trade, mid tower there. Even though KYXY has been, I wouldn't say shut down, he's still got 53 creeps, but he's been harassed quite a bit in his lane. He did just choose to take that mid tower rather than going and trying to help lane.
They don't choose to continue pushing on bottom. I thought they might have. The Jakiro's teleporting. He's gonna go back to base and refill. He's probably gonna rotate and help kill mid or something like that.
I suspect we'll see a top push, as the Windrunner has actually got her mech up, but the recipe's just sitting on the bird there. I think that definitely it's going to try play some 5-man Dota as soon as this Dragon Knight's ultimate is back up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Poor Sven, 11 minutes, he hasn't got boots up yet.
Darkseer might get caught out of position as Sven stun initiates, and actually Eclipse is used to this just to secure the kill. So that Darkseer definitely out of position, did not expect to have a Sven hiding in the bushes as he walks past.
Initiation on top as well. Looks like Ninja Boogie, oh, very close to dropping, but a very nice decay there on two heroes. Managed to save, no sorry, doesn't one hero, but did manage to save him.
Thanks.
Yeah, they are going to rotate up and just do some pressure on the top lane. Darkseer might rotate a lot, which is possibly what he was trying to do when he got caught up at that Luna. Just get his farm up a little bit.
Yeah, and as you've said, the Dragon Knight is rotating top as well, so it's not a 5-man push, but 4-man indeed are committed to taking down these tier 1 and potentially a tier 2 tower as well, while this Darkseer is just continuing to solo by himself. As he's very capable of doing, he's probably going to get, well, he's going for a pipe straight away, is he?
I think so, I think the Dirges go for the mech.
Okay.
But I mean, as you can see, all the main heroes farming are going for this kind of utility team items. The Dragon Knight's picked up a drum first. Dirge's got the headdress first, which is going to help just prolong the push a little bit with that 2 aura regen, no 3 aura regen. But I mean, basically their aim is just to keep this push going for as long as possible. Keep the pressure on.
I'm kind of surprised they went for the Venomenta pick. The ward aren't as amazing at
mid.
pushing as people seem to think.
Gank in mid, you watch mid.
I got to it at the end. That Templar Assassin was very far ahead.
Yeah, I think she thought they were all still up, so she thought, you know what, they're all gone, I might as well just take this tier 2 tower in mid. Fortunately, they're onto it, and initiation on top as well. Very nice shackle by the Windrunner, catches both the Venomanta and the Dirge. That's going to be the death of the Dirge, he's only level 5.
More for
A very nice follow-up power as well. This Windrunner's having a very nice game. Very, very, very nice. I'm just going to keep saying that.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
Giving the Sven a bit of room in mid base, in mid lane, mid base. What am I talking about? Just to try to get some XP up himself, get him some gold. Should get his ulti in the next couple of levels.
Does a Dirge even hit level 6? Speaking of that, no, he's still level 5. I think they did want to keep a really aggressive push on, but it's just not working out for them. The Windrunner's got, you know, a substantial amount of farm, and the Dirge is only just hit level 6, which is quite a crucial level in terms of being able to push. That ultimate really does great justice in teamfight though.
Yeah, if you look at the hero levels, the tri-lane of TnC got shut down hard in terms of levels. You've got a 7 on the Rubik, a 7 on the Sven, so those two supports managing to find their own XP, and the Luna on a 9 in comparison to 6, 5 and 5 of TnC's. That's quite a dramatic difference. Sure, they want to go for some push and get some advantage, but Orange has got their own. Yes, I am indeed. A big engagement, and the Luna comes in, Eclipse. That's going to clean up at least one hero. They should be able to get this Dragon Knight as well, as he's surrounded and not going to get a final kill on that Templar Assassin. So that's 2 for 0 at the moment, and Orange are going to be able to use this to get another tower if they want, or they might just rotate down and continue shutting down this Undying, who's not backing off just yet.
I think he's really trying to get this back up. He's just got the recipe remaining, which is about 600 gold away.
The rotations are smoked. Rubik, Sven, and Windrunner are all coming down for this Undying. He has backed off. He shouldn't get caught out unless they plan on diving between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers.
Oh, this is going to be quite funny. He actually manages to unintentionally juke them by running up the river, while they try and dive him behind the tower.
Yeah. The Luna would have seen them, so now they're just going to rotate him now. They might commit on this Luna, which I don't think would be such a good idea since the backup is very close, still smoked up from Orange. No, they don't. They just play it safe.
I suspect they're really just going for this mech on the Dirge. and possibly even the pipe on the Darkseer, which isn't too far away. I think they've realised that the push strat isn't working quite the way they planned, so they're going to just go back to a bit more of the traditional style of farming up some items and then fighting. So I would say they do have the superior team fight at the moment. Like, not in terms of level farm, but if their heroes can catch up in farm, they will have superior team fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to push this again, and the TPs are coming. 2 TPs. This is going to be a 5-man committed for Orange to defend this tower. They immediately bring down the Undying. The Jakiro stunned, and not enough to save him. Macropie put down as well. Still not enough damage dealt. The Venomancer drops. Undying's actually brought back, and he's teleported into his tier 2, so he'll be rejoining this fight soon. Jakiro then picked up very soon, and the slow's now hitting this Dragon Knight. Shackle doesn't latch, unfortunately. Undying is back and should get a kill on Shyamta. If he had 1 point in the Soul Rip, it most definitely would have been a kill right there and then. He does get the kill anyway with the Decay, turn it around and actually get 3 kills from this. I think it's been 4 dead for TnC and 3. 1 final Dual Breath.
It was definitely a very nice fire.
Breathe fire.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I mean, the Venomancer ult managed to get them all down just so low, and they just didn't have that, final power they needed to take the heroes out. So the Dirge Fire gave them exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I think that was a really smart buyback. I mean, Undying is a very strong teamfight hero, and him buying back and teleporting straight back was actually huge. They committed so many spells on him initially to bring him down, but then he just buys back, so... Yeah, I think Orange really should have just backed off then. They did get an advantage, sure they picked off 3 heroes, but committing, as we saw, just didn't work out for them.
Well, as we mentioned with the levels before, the Undying was very low level. He was level 6 or something, and he's just got up to level 10 now. He's on par with the Luna, and, just below the Dragon Knight, the Windrunner, and the TA, who are the solos, so... I have to say that
was worth it for him, yeah.
Yeah. Also, have we checked older experience graphs recently?
I did. There was a bit of action going on, so I closed it without actually talking about it. It was up to 5,000 in XP, but that's dipped back down quite a lot, and gold, I assume, is similar. Yeah, so was it about 3,500, and it's only about 1,500 now. I'd still put TnC on the back foot.
Is of Dragon Knight on bot lane, the ultimate up. It's only about 900 to his KB.
The rotations are coming bottom, so there's 3 committed here for Orange. I don't think they'll be able to defend this unless Luna or TA also teleport back, but they're just pushing in the meantime. I would say TnC would be able to take this tower since there's no fortify, and then they could TP out and defend their own.
Yeah, with the wall pop, that's a very nice wall, by the way. Positioning of that is just fantastic. Really not that much that Orange can do. We see Luna pop her ult in the middle. Doesn't actually manage to drop Urge, and she might... No, she won't pay. Fury does TP in, but Luna's speed is just a bit too fast and they can't catch her.
She hasn't gone for drums, eh? She's just going Aquila into BKB. Well, she's got the bracer, so she might be getting a drums. But then she opted for the Ogre Club. Thinks she needs that BKB right away.
Yeah.
Pipe getting very close on this Darkseer. And I'm assuming the mech's up on the Undying. Yes, it is indeed. There's not a ton of counter push from Orange either. You got the power shot and the glaives to come through. If the TA was perhaps a little bit more fed, you could rely on the side blades a little bit more to counter push. But not quite yet. And I don't think this Rubik's going to have the mana pool to be able to infinitely spam this Fade Bolt to counter push.
Yeah, definitely not.
This drafting could still work out for TnC. It's definitely anyone's game. The blink up on Templar Assassin. Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, the wall is... Dragon Knight's ult's going to be up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds, so I expect we're going to see a push soon. They might possibly be waiting on the pipe, which is about 200 gold away. Yeah, approximately 200 gold away. But I expect we're going to see a tier 2 push commit. Nice sentry, by the way, next Dragon Knight. Good positioning hidden in the bush there. It looks like we are going to see initiative in mid. Dragon Knight pops his ultimate as well as the DD. They're definitely just going to go straight for this tower.
Very aggressive tombstone placement, really trying to clear out that creep wave and force the enemies back. They should take this tower relatively uncontested. The lift is there, so they might be looking to go in on this. No.
Radiant's middle tower.
That Templar Assassin was still committing so much time to trying to push bottom, but the Darkseer rotated and was counter-pushing, and by the time the Templar Assassin TP'd back, they couldn't take the fight, even with the Blink Dagger. Luna also split pushing, but didn't manage to get a tower. She has farmed herself up at BKB, so would that be worth it? I'm not so sure. But obviously her BKB is very important at this point. If Orange managed to get 1 or 2 pickoffs, especially with a Blink Dagger Templar Assassin and a BK beat up Luna, I think they could convert it straight to a Roshan and do a very strong pushing of their own for the next couple of minutes. I don't think TnC would be able to contest a Roshan fight with 1 or 2 members down. Each member is so crucial at the moment, providing that AoE damage.
I think the TnC aren't going to let them get that opportunity though. They're sticking very, very hard. And they actually have got a smoke now, so I think they might be trying to pick one off for themselves. I don't know if they have enough power to go Roshan, but they might just go straight for a tier 3 tower, possibly.
They're rotating down towards the Luna. I don't think they got vision of that. There was a Templar Assassin trap near where they smoked up, but I would have been out of vision. I'm almost certain it was.
They are trying to hunt the Luna. She's got her BKB, so she might be able to TP out. But even with the BKB, she's only got 1.2k health. Does BKB instantly? Are they going to be able to DPS? No.
Nope.
But that does mean the BKB is cooldown, so they could theoretically go for a push. What side of the Sven? Haste is popped on the Dragon Knight, so he might be able to chase this down. Though that is at the risk of leaving all his allies alone.
I'm on the fence on how TnC should play this. They have such a strong push lineup, and that could work to their advantage, but Luna and Tia have both been split pushing, and if they don't make something happen, they will lose their towers.
I suspect that the Darkseer then was going to go push, but Ninja Boogie said, no, get your ass mid, we're going to go for a tier 3 push. Or possibly... No, they don't have enough DPS to out DPS the regen. It looks like they're just going to go for it. Dragon Knight's ultimate has worn out, so they might just turtle for about 50 seconds, which possibly isn't the best idea, is pressuring the bot lane, but no, pipe is popped. Looks like they're going to go straight in. Initiation on the Sven. Wall and Tomb are both dropped.
Undying pops his ulti, he's looking pretty fierce. The Sven getting slowed by the Gale and the zombies. He gets picked off straight away. So it's one on the sidelines already for Orange. None so for TnC, and they are continuing to wail on this tower. Lots of lots of power shots coming out, sorry. And is providing a lot of good counter push, especially since a lot of them seem to be landing on these squishy supports, Jakiro and Venomancer. Luna is here now, so she might, she just pops her BKB and Eclipse is in now. The Jakiro instantly drops a BKB on the Dragon Knight, so Eclipse is not affecting him. I don't think he'll be able to get himself out of here, especially once this BKB pops. He could just get lifted straight back into the fight. He does get out of vision just in time there, and the Venomancer instead gets picked off, shackled to a tree, and 4 of them beating down on him. Undying chooses just to TP out. Counter push these lanes, and then they might try again once the 2 supports are back up.
Yeah, I think they might wait for the Dragon's ultimate possibly. As well as the wall. Is the wall back up? Yeah, they're going to wait for the wall and probably Dragon Knight's ultimate, but I think they're just going to keep going for this, the tier 3 and Rax. They really want to push those teams and force them out, as they do have the advantage in team fights, at least for a little while. Once Luna gets a couple more items, they're definitely going to have difficulty. As Dragonite didn't go for a defense build, he went for a more tank team fight based build.
Yeah, it looks like Dragonite's going to go back to base, and then he's probably going to TP back mid, and they'll continue this push, I would say. It's a shame they haven't been able to get just one pick-off or something. Orange playing very, very safe, which is standard Orange. But if they were to get a pick-off, I'd say they could just go Roche, and then a team fight would be very, very safe for them. And with lanes being pushed, a Roshan is just so risky. Templar Assassin has it trapped as well, so they will know if they choose to go for that.
I think this Roshan attempt is pretty risky, honestly. I just don't have that much DPS. Like as I just said, the Dragonite only has 140 damage, which, you know, it's a bit, but it's not that much. Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to back it out. There is the trap in there, so Orange is aware of what's going on.
Dire's top tower is
They might commit to this. They know the Templar Assassin is committed to taking the top tower.
has fallen.
So they're at least one player down. And the TA is a very core hero. This Roshan's still taking quite some time. As you said, there's just not the DPS to bring this down, even with the medallion on the Venomancer. Action going down now. Luna getting potentially caught out of position. The Dragonite stun comes in. The follow-up from the Ice Path, and she's brought down. I'm not so sure if she was even able to put BKB on. No, she wasn't indeed. So she was picked off. And does she have money for buyback? She does, but she's choosing not to buy back and contest this.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
That's even better than expected. Able to take the Aegis and pick off the Luna as the pick off. Not just the Rubik or anything like that, so that's very strong. They should just convert this into a big mid push.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They've got the Aegis now, so I suspect this Dragonite is just going to run straight in mid and just whack that tower down. He's quite tank, so it's going to take a lot of manpower from Orange to take him down. And by the time all those nukes are used to just, you know, kill him and the Aegis pops, his allies are going to be able to go in and destroy. But it looks like they might not actually be going it. Surge is going to TP bot. He might be going for a Sheeps now, and he is getting fairly close if he is. He's got 2.4k, so it's just about 2k away.
I'm surprised this Dirge hasn't put max Soul Rip a little bit earlier. Putting about 3 points into K is, I guess, generally what I do. The Soul Rip is just so useful, and especially when you're going for a high ground push. There's potentially 2 waves, one from each team, and then you pop a Tombstone as well, creating so many units. Getting to that unit cap is not as unthinkable as it would normally be in something like the laning phase. So 4 points in a Soul Rip to heal up your Dragonite would be huge. But 3 points as well is going to do quite a lot of healing if he chooses to use it as a heal.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, there's actually 10k XP advantage for the Radiant. Knew there'd be a bit of an advantage, but not that much. Only 5k in the gold, and that's, I guess, that's pretty much what I expected. They have been split pushing and getting some solo farm on the Luna and TA.
Yeah, like in a lot of
they actually
games.
have more kills as well. Anyway, go on.
In a lot of games, having said like a actually initiation of the lane, if you hadn't caught this.
Oh, I think she cancelled her own TP by moving.
I guess she knew the BKB was to wear off. She wasn't going to get away, so she thought she might as well make a run for it. But as I was going to say, like such a big gold and experience advantage in a traditional game with, you know, 2 carries who are trying to out-farm each other and all that, it you know, it kind of spells not doom, but a very difficult game ahead for whoever has the least gold. But in this kind of draft where the TnC team are not going for you know, a carry who's going to AFK farm for the next 40 minutes like Orange is, since they are just sticking together as 5, the gold experience deficient doesn't actually mean they're doing bad. It means that the draft is, you know, not based around having gold and having high experience. It's based around getting towers and getting the Raxes down as fast as they can.
Well, here we are then. 5-man. The Pipers pop, so they're looking to go in. Surge on the Dragon Knight. He goes in straight away. A stun on the Sven. The team doesn't follow up on that, so there's the stun turnaround from Sven. Fortification comes out, so if they sustain this push, the fortification's not going to be ready, and they can pull down this tower. The glyphs now stop being effective, and they are continuing to hit this tower. The tower will likely go down any second now. The wall and the tombstone are popped. The BKB's popped from Yamato as well. He doesn't have his Eclipse this fight. Aegis has already popped on the Dragon Knight. A lot of burst focused on him. The Venomancer pops his ult, but it only hits on 2 before he is dropped. It's still 4 for 4 at this point. They pick off the Jakiro. The Templar Assassin, very mobile and able to get the pickoffs during this fight, but still stay relatively safe. A nice vacuum in, putting everyone in, but there's just no follow-up. Decay is there, does a lot of damage. Can he convert that to a kill? Not quite yet. Now everyone's dead but the Dragon Knight, and he falls too. We could potentially see a GG at any point now.
Honestly, I'm not too sure about the Dragon Knight's choices during that fight. He did have a BKB, I'm sorry, not BKB, he did BKB, but he had the Aegis, and he decided to back out on half health anyway, whereas I felt he should have just hit that tower down, you know, as fast as he could, so they wouldn't have to fight under the tower anymore. So I'm not too sure. I think maybe there was a bit of miscommunication as Dragon Knight decided to back, whereas everyone else went at the same, like as he was backing, everyone else ran in, so I'm not too sure about that. But I mean, the Luna bought out then, didn't she?
Did she?
Must have.
Oh, she did too, yeah. It's on cooldown. In which case,
so
she might just use her money to buy out her Manta then. Nope.
Yeah, I think she will. She hasn't got enough yet, she needs 3,000. Yeah, now she's got enough. Yeah, that Luna buyout definitely tipped the fight in their favour.
That fight went quite convincingly to Orange's hands. They were playing on the defensive. I mean, sure they got the tower down, but the TnC heroes just melted. Even Ninja Boogie on the Undying, and who's actually playing on the Dragon Knight? I forgot who it was. Raya, that's right. Both rather tanky heroes, but still dropped. And Jakiro, a relatively tanky for a support, still only can survive a couple of hits from a Templar Assassin, and those power shots
Top tower is under attack.
making it very hard to give a sustained push. Even with an urn from the Venomancer, unless they can get a couple of kills to get some charges, the urn's going to offer nothing for them. Jakiro actually buying up a salve now, so they need that stability. His Tranquils is just not going to be enough.
We have got a lot of items just designed to keep pushing, but I think they're going to find it a little bit hard. Dragon Knight has almost AC up, which will help a little bit, but he still just has no damage. You know, maybe he needs to opt for something like a... God, I don't even know what he's for.
I'm a little bit surprised there's no Vlad's up for these guys.
Yeah, that's
Vlad's
a
offers
point,
really
that'll
good
help a lot.
push, and with the main two, I guess, DPSs, the Undying and the Dragon Knight being melee, they're gonna get the lifesteal. Speaking of Undying, he's just initiated down on bottom, and he's just brought down super quick.
Not sure what he was doing then, he just had to charge forward a little bit.
Got himself up a Blade Mail. Might help a little bit, but I'm not so sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It looks like Orange now is going to go on the offensive. Luna's got her man robe, she's heading towards probably a butterfly. But maybe something like a satanic, honestly. But he's gonna get into that point where it's gonna be very hard to stop her. I think TnC were relying on maybe like a 20-minute racks or 25-minute racks. And they just don't really have anything to take the Luna down once she gets up some more items. Not to mention heroes like Windrunner and TA have all got great survivability. And speaking of Windrunner, she's got a Hex, she's got a Mech, she's got Mana Boots, and she's got a 4-stuff up. She's been farming fantastically. 6 kills, she's only died once. She's really going to be unstoppable.
Killing spree.
From darkness, I
Base dives on bot lane. The DK does TP and manages to take out the Rubik, and he's going now for the Sven, but the Sven gets away.
They both managed to TP out. Very unfortunate for this Dragon Knight. He would have liked to convert that to at least 1 kill.
Yeah. But they do get the gem back, which is the 700 gold saved.
AC up on the Dragon Knight. I would say they're all going to gather again and go for that mid push since the tower's already down. If they can get the kills, they'll very easily get the racks. Fortify is up, but that's only going to buy a couple of seconds. A lot of armor for this Undying. He's got a blade mail and he's purchased himself up another plate mail as well. Plus the cloak.
Yeah, I think he's gonna pick the Shaver out soon. I mean, the Dragon Knight, he has got 37 armor, but still just a little bit scared to go in. Might just be waiting for the Roshan, who does appear in the next 1 minute. I think they know that if they push now and the push fails, that's going to be GG, or he's going to get the Roshan and get the racks. Game over. They have to play it safe. By the same token, they can't not push. They just don't have that late game potential that Orange has with the Windrunner, the TA, the Sven. And the Luna, of course.
Yeah, especially with the racks still up. All these creeps are going to be giving full gold, and that Luna's going to love sitting in base turtling. She's getting essentially 3 lanes of farm, like if it were to push into the base. Templar Assassin still heading top though, farming up.
Got 6k gold, so he's not exactly desolate for money. Anyway, it looks like they're going to go in and just start hitting on these racks.
Templar Assassin has TP'd back, the Dragon Knight's going in, full man mode, pops his BKB, and he is surviving quite a lot. The wall is down, get a couple of illusions going there, dealing quite a lot of damage. Luna getting hurt tons, and she's dropped immediately. Does she have money for buyback? Yes, both the TA and the Luna do buy back immediately. Still 5 up for TnC, but 2 backs for Orange, so still technically 5 up for Orange as well. Sven dropping low, but didn't end up dying in the end. The melee Rax is below half health. The Fortify is finally popped. Eclipse is used as well, so they're going back in trying to turn this push. The Dragon Knight gets bring down from the Eclipse and a final power shot. Now it looks like a bit of overcommitting from TnC, so this could be the wipe. I'm not so sure. Everyone on Orange is very low. Undying manages to get a kill on the Rubik before he dies as well. Couple of buybacks from TnC.
I mean, that was a lot of buyouts in that fight. Urno's bought out, Darkseer's bought out within, not this fight, but last fight. Luna, Templar Assassin, Dragon Knight, all of them have bought out the buyout game.
And the Jakiro, I think the Jakiro bought back that fight as well. Yeah.
And I don't know if you were playing it this time, but before when buyout didn't have a cooldown, and then to get to these games, it was just like, you know, an hour and a half in, and the Chinese would just have like 20,000 gold saved up, and every time they died, they just buy out straight away.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad there's the buyback cooldown now.
TA buys up a full Daedalus. She still has money for buyback. Of course, that is on cooldown as you're talking about. But she's going to be doing a lot more DPS in these fights. And she's still continuing just a solo push, and if that's uncontested, she's taken the tier 3 at top, so she might be able to convert the racks at bottom while this engagement's going on in mid. They might have to TP straight away for this TA, because that Rax is dropping very, very fast, and the glyph isn't there. The backdoor regen coming out and regenning up these racks. If they can just buy enough time, they will get the racks at top. And TnC will not in mid. Dragon Knight getting very low, 4-staff out, so he's not in range anymore. A heal does come from the Undying, putting this DK at very high health again. They do manage to bring down the melee racks. A nice three-man ice wall. The AoE now coming out from the Luna and the Sven, just the cleave and the glaives coming through, cleaning up 3 heroes from TnC, forcing them back. The Darkseer gets away. Ryo on the DK, not so lucky though. And the GG is called just there. Wow.
Yeah, the strategy really did have, I guess, a lifespan really. They had to win within the first, at least get a racks in the first 20 minutes or so. Or else they just didn't have a chance, and they just didn't get the early game they needed. The try lane didn't go as well as they wanted. The Windrunner got too much farm. Things just didn't go the way they wanted it to, unfortunately.
I think the Sven pickup for Orange was really, really well. He played brilliantly in the tri lane. So many defensive stuns, saved that Luna a couple of times. Worked out very, very strong. It was potentially a kill tri lane from TnC, and it was very aggressive. Didn't work out for them, as you said.